Right everyone, and welcome to a battle replay commentary for the 3 quest battles for Khazrak the One-Eye in Total War Warhammer 3. Now I've already uploaded the 3 of these in real time, and that was obviously when I'm playing, but I've noticed that it is quite chaotic, and I thought it'd be quite fun to do some overviews of the battle and see how I did the various strategies. So we are starting with the first of Khazrak's quests, which was Scourge, and it was an ambush battle. His army was fairly generic, and so was the Empire's. But let's jump in and have a look how I did it. Right then, so yeah, like I was saying, this is a ambush. So you can see here that Heinrich Todbringer has been ambushed by my army. He was fielding these great swords along with some spearmen, some crossbows, the handgunners, the Demigryph Knights, and the Empire Knights at the back. So what I did was deployed the Chaos Warhounds and the Centaurs over on this side, and then I had my Minotaurs and my Spearmen over here. The idea was to come down this hill and bring the Spearmen and Minotaurs into the back of the Empire Knights and the Demigryphs, and then the Chaos Warhounds and the Centaurs were on the sides here to try and run into the back of the Empire army here, which was going to start heading into my waiting army over here. Obviously, we just have some Chaos Spawn and some Gore Herds here, but it's still a pretty decent army. And straight away, what we do is bring forward our Ungor Raiders, and they are going to try and shoot off of the edge of this cliff. I also send my Chaos Spawn straight away, which are going to engage with the great swords that are coming in. You can also see here that we have the ambushed Hex up at the moment, which is significantly reducing all of their main stats. So it's another reason to try and get in there as quickly as possible, because you want to try and make the most of that debuff. You can see that the Empire Knights are trying to come up the side here where my Minotaurs were waiting. And over here, the Chaos Spawn do get absolutely destroyed by the crossbowmen and the great swords and spears that they run into, but that's okay because they are indeed unbreakable. So you can see here that the Empire Knights managed to squeeze through, which was actually a really unfortunate mistake there. I should have had the Gore Herd just slightly to the right. That means that the archers no longer really play a role. You can see here we come in with a massive Centaur charge along with the Chaos Warhounds charging in. Not ideal to put them into the Empire Knights there. And we can see here that the Demigryph Knights have indeed managed to get past my spears, but we do have the Minotaurs waiting here to run into them, which they are about to do. Back over here, we are just fighting it out as expected. We are winning the fight for the most part. Running into the back of these just now with the Beastigors, really nice. Just carving them up. Love to see that Chaos Spawn doing work there. We head back over. We've unfortunately lost some Chaos Hounds there, so like I said, probably not great to put them into the Empire Knights. But we are dealing with the Demigryphs at least. And then just then, we had the rest of the reinforcements coming through. So you can see up here with the stats how well we're kind of doing at this point. You can see our kills are going up very nicely. We're up to 415. But yeah, this is when these reinforcements come in. Demigryphs are trying to flee now. We've got the handgunners caught up with the spearmen there, which is actually really nice. And you can see that we have actually won this fight now. But Heinrich Todbringer is a tough cookie. So you can see now that we are still pushing most of them back. The Empire Knights are doing pretty well here. An incoming new set of Empire Knights for a massive charge, and I managed to just turn the Minotaurs at the last second there, so I think I'm but they at least didn't take too much of a hit compared to the poor Ungor spearmen there. The other Ungor spearmen have unfortunately routed because they were trying to face Demigryph Knights, so that's expected. Back over here, we are trying our best just to deal with this guy. I think at this point I should have moved the rest of my army across the channel here and tried to engage, because I know unfortunately the Minotaurs are getting caught up with all sorts of problems here with these spearmen coming right up behind them, and they're getting hit by the crossbowmen. So yeah, that is very unfortunate for the Minotaurs there. Like I said at the very beginning, we played this entire fight with these Ungor Raiders getting charged to pieces by the Empire Knights there, which is really unfortunate. And we're just chasing off some stragglers there as well. I think this is when I decided to move my army a bit more across, so you can see everyone moving now, and it's becoming a bit more of a normal battle. So I don't have any flanking angles. You can also see my Centaur units are routed there too, so it's not looking ideal, but it's not looking terrible either. I think I do realise at this point that I should have, yeah, here he comes, Khazrak, kind of in this main area here, just to give some leadership. But they don't have their lord over here either, and going in for a big charge there they come, huge charge. But obviously when they're braced like this, we should have probably come around the back and charged. But I mean, we're just caught in a massive frenzy right now. If we just have a look over the battlefield, I mean, they've still got these Demigryph Knights who are indeed just now fleeing. Oh no, they're just trying to recharge. You can see Chaos Spawn doing their work there. Minotaurs have ceased to be at this point. I believe, yeah, they're just at the back. Trying to bring them back. I think they're headed up here. Yeah, there's some handgunners that managed to escape. I'm gonna get charged into the back of by Toddbringer here, and I just saw Crow AoE go forward there, and there he is. He managed to get into the back of my Beastigors, but they kind of like that fight, I think. So what I do instead there is actually pushed everyone forward. I feel like I should have maybe broke Khazrak off here. Just to, oh, there we go. I can see the red line coming across now. So yeah, I'm trying to just deal with this Heinrich Toddbringer, who has instead inserted himself into the middle of my Beastigors here, which is quite funny AI, really. So yeah, we are finally rid of most of the stragglers. You can still see the Empire Knights taking out my horses. The Minotaurs are chasing someone in the back. We're coming down the hill with a charge in the Centaurs, who are just chasing off some of these annoying crossbowmen, who are now getting their swords out to fight. And as for these guys, we've broken the... No, we still haven't got the Demigryphs. They're still trying to recharge every so often. And there's our crows coming in again. I love that AoE. Kind of changes the battle very nicely. Yeah, you can just see how much of a kind of grinder and slaughterfest this is. As expected though with Beastmen. This is what they live for. You can see from the stats, our gold value is still high. I mean, we've killed 1,000 units now, but they, to be fair, have killed 770. So yeah, pretty difficult this fight, but not horrendously difficult. You can actually see that these guys have done 79 friendly fire kills, which I'm assuming is from the arrows that are raining down. And I just saw the Lord go down, so that is him officially gone. That will make them very unhappy. There you go. Lord recently died, -16. They are just going to start running away, most of these units. I believe now it comes into a bit of a chase where the rest of my army, it gets a little bit sketchy here, but the rest of my army tries to chase down what they can. It really is just handgunners and crossbows. Yeah, we chase them down, and it becomes a bit of a sketchy fight. You can see here they're managing to rain down on these Gorehard. I decide to split Khazrak to deal with these three and get the rest of my army to just chase these guys. I think I was a bit scared at the time that these three would turn back around, but I believe they leave the map which is good for me. Yeah, these spearmen are coming back round, which is not ideal. Yeah, you can see we are completely bloodbathed here. And yeah, I'm just going to fast forward again. Khazrak has his fun. And my army manages to catch up with these handgunners, rather, that were trying to run. And that's Happy Beast the Gores. We do get, and there is, that is the end, just as the arrows start to rain down upon us. So it was a Pyrrhic victory in the end, and there was a few mistakes. Like I said, maybe the Chaos Warhounds could have been used a little bit better, and maybe some of the Centaurs could have been charged in a few more times rather than just run in and kind of died. And the same with the Minotaurs. They were over there, and then the reinforcements came in and I didn't move them, but we still managed the victory. And there we go, just a quick look at who did best. I think it really was the Centaurs here, and the Shaman who was doing the Crows, and then one of these Goreherd units along with the Beast of Gores doing a pretty good job. I mean, even at the end, these guys still have pretty decent health. And yeah, obviously on this side, the Empire Knights and the Demigryph Knights were their key players. Right then, so that was the first quest battle. The second quest battle for Khazrak the One-Eye was the Dark Mail. Now, I think this was the second hardest mission for, or quest battle for the Beastmen in general. It was quite a challenge, and this is due to them having these reinforcements that come in against what is not a great starting army. But let's watch the replay and have a look how it got done. Right then, so this mission, I did some very specific deployment. The deployment zone was just here, and what I did was put all of the Vanguard over exactly at this point here, and then I'm moving literally my entire army over as well. Like I said in the original playthrough of this quest battle, there is a big rock there, and it just doesn't show, but yeah, that's why they are placed like this. So what I did at the very start was actually send these Chaos Warhounds right off into this corner along with the Razor Gore herd. The whole point of that was just to get rid of this starting army that he's got here, which isn't scary. It's actually Graktar himself that comes out of this corner that's scary. And then the other reinforcements come out all the way over there too. So it takes ages for them to get over. And the whole plan here was to try and take out Graktar and his army before the rest of his reinforcements got to me. And the biggest surprise I had on this one was actually how strong Graktar is as a lord himself. He is actually stronger than Khazrak. So you had to really use these Minotaurs, and I will show you them in action right now. So you can see there in the distance, the Chaos Warhounds are going off now. And I do a fake charge there. They do get hit by those Warhounds, and then I will click away. There's my clicking, and off they go. So that sends literally all of their guys off. I just bring the Razor Gores in because I do realise that these Centaurs were kind of breaking off and maybe coming up behind me, so I wanted to catch them. So that is their original army gone, and right on cue, in comes Graktar. Now Graktar is going to come straight down, and he is actually going to meet Khazrak here, but I don't want them to. I want him to fight these Minotaurs, so we charge straight in. There are other scariest units, are these Minotaurs here, so I'm trying to meet the Minotaurs with Minotaurs. My great weapons against their normal Minotaurs there. And then the other Minotaurs are on this side, which isn't a great fight for the Chaos Spawn, but they can at least hold their own, along with the Beast Gore herd here, have armor piercing. So yeah, it's a bloody battle to begin with. We are really trying our best to take good fights here, and in come a Centaur charge. It wasn't the best. That could have maybe used the Centaurs a little bit better. And just there, my Chaos Warhounds and Beastigar Herd have crumbled, so that means the rest of the army are now on their way. But yeah, we are trying our best, we're cutting them down. I'm even using spells here, dropping some crows in, the old flock. And yeah, you can see that Graktar's take nothing at the moment, but we are taking out their Minotaurs, and that's great, because the exit point is just here, so as soon as they cross it, they're gone. Which is perfect. We don't want any Minotaurs on the field. And there goes the other side with their Minotaurs too. So that is a really good position to be in. The other things we're just dealing with is the Beastigors they have themselves, and then their Chaos units here. But again, like I said, Groktar really standing his ground here. And in the meantime, you can see off in the distance the rest of the armies coming in, which is a kind of timer in itself with this strategy. So what I do is just ball everyone in, trying to take out these Chaos Spawn because they are unbreakable, and we managed to get them down just now. So yeah, now what I do is start to form some kind of battle line as I realise that these guys are coming in. There's my clicks. So here we go. We're going to send everyone out, and one lot of Minotaurs cannot deal with this, guys. So we have to actually leave 2 lots of Minotaurs. I believe I leave the great weapons and just the ordinary ones. So yep, that is them getting into position now. We're forming a line. I'm trying to get my Centaurs onto the sides. I can see a Centaur charge coming in. I'm hoping that at this point they're just aiming for maybe the spearmen here that are trying their best to just get into position, or the Goreherd here, even anything at all that's not the archers. Yeah, on the other side, we've got some very fast Chaos Warhounds who managed to squeeze through, but Chaos Warhounds against Chaos Spawn is an okay fight. Centaurs, not so much, but that is okay. They do manage to get through with their Razorgore chariots here, but again, they are met by Minotaur great weapons, so they get absolutely clobbered. You can see them down to half HP already. That is just absolute destruction there. There it goes. Straight away, and it's gone. On this side, again, they've got their chariots in, and they're trying to fight my Centaurs with their Centaurs, but we also have the backup of the Goreherd, so their Centaurs aren't happy at all by that. You can see how low their leadership has gone down. In the meantime, we are still fighting Graktar, which is really quite annoying how tanky he is, but you can see there he's taking quite big hits from my 2 Minotaur units there. It is just the 2 ordinary ones. I did send the great weapons ones down here, and I think this is my first mistake, is letting the great weapons just get away from me a little bit, but it turns into bit of a lucky moment there with the Chaos Warhounds just decide to charge straight in, and you can see the HP of them just get absolutely decimated. So those ones are completely routed straight away, and they are not happy at all. And Beastigors are trying their best to fight those Centaurs. I do in the end decide to summon the Feral Manticore to try and save this flank, because I realise that the Chaos Spawn are now dying. There's even rocks coming in from the Cygor, but luckily, because we're in trees, the Cygor rocks are not landing for the most part, which is nice. And you can see here we're charging in with the Centaurs. Bad move there. I shouldn't have charged into the Spearmen. There was plenty of space around here to come round and into the back of the Spearmen there, and it would have been a much better opportunity there. Just going to slow down very slightly here just so I can go back up here to the Manticore, who does actually hold his own up here, which is actually perfect, because I think we wouldn't have been able to scare off this unit of Centaur, and also the Lord has just gone down, which is a very nice sight indeed. So we are now charging into this flank with the Minotaurs that were already here. Khazrak is trying to deal with some Ungors there, and we are trying to do a recharge with some of our Centaurs, so I do realise in the moment that that was probably the better call in the end, and here they come straight into the back of the doggos just here, and you can see how damaging that is to them. They instantly buckle and off they go. Now, the Centaur here gets quite a few free hits in, and unfortunately the Minotaurs decide that that's not for them, and off they go. So, yeah, it's not great usage there, and like I was saying, the Manticore is holding his own, even though he's on a timer. I'm pretty happy with what he did there, just keeping those guys at bay. Wow, oh, we got a nasty, forgot about the nasty Centaur charge into my Raiders there, but luckily there are 3 of them. So we do try and stop them just there. Again, we are just having this kind of fight going on here. And again, I should have moved the Centaurs. They should not be fighting spearmen head on like this. You can even see the Cygor having a good time throwing his rocks there. Yeah, let's just fast forward now. It gets to the point of no return for the enemies. If we look at the stats, we're at 866 kills compared to about 500 on the enemy side, so it turned out not too bad for us. You can still see that our army value is far above theirs, and yeah, we're coming up to 1,000 kills ourselves. And yeah, everything is looking pretty good. Just fast forward, I bring back some of my units here. I decide to play it safe, not wanting to do anything too crazy. I bring back these Ungors just to deal with the Ungor herd. Oh, nasty hit there, you see that there. Oof. Poor Ungors. I don't think they're quite happy about that, but yeah, they're not. Their leadership is not very nice. But yeah, I try to run back into the trees. Like I say, I'm trying to play it safe. And then what happens here is that I gather everyone up and we decide to take on the Cygor. So yeah, just cleaning up, just making sure those guys have routed properly and completely broken. And yeah, we are gathering everyone together in a kind of rallying push for the finish. You can see we've just gone over 1,000 dead entities, which is ideal. I decided to come in with Khazrak, and you can see now he's going to try his best to tickle his feet. Here he comes. And yep, that's a big tail, Khazrak. And he's just admiring right now. I think what I decided was to attack first with these and then go in so that they took the hit. There he goes, slashes the back of his hoof there. And this Cygor is not very happy about that at all. As I line up with my archers as well for a good old volley. And he turns and flees. And the archers decide to fire off into the back of him as he flees from the battlefield to another Pyrrhic victory. So I'm quite happy with how that battle went. And like I said, it was a pretty challenging mission, and it took a bit of puzzle solving to realise that I needed to push back that initial army that spawns just next to your initial spawn and keep these guys delayed using the heroic Chaos Warhounds and the heroic Razorgore Herd. You can see here that again the Beastgore Herds are right up there along with the Centaurs this time and the great weapons. And on their side, I think it was the Cygor, was it, that did the best? Yeah, the Cygor did the best. So there we go, that was that quest battle. And the final quest battle for Khazrak the One-Eye was Fall of Man. Now this one on paper looks like a really difficult one because you're looking here and you're thinking, oh, that's Karl Franz and that's Leon Leoker and they've got Hellstorm rocket batteries and even the very scary Pegasus Knights. But it's actually not too challenging, or at least I found it not too challenging. So let's jump in and see what my strategy was. I love how thematic this quest battle is, obviously fighting the two great leaders. And what I did right at the start was actually deployed these centaurs off into the trees just here. And then I bunched my entire army together and headed over to my ally and put all the vanguards right behind the ally. The idea was that the ally just takes the hits for me, and then I can do cleanup. So we can watch this starting to play out. Obviously, they have some trebuchets here. Now, part of the reason for these centaurs was to try and come in and take these trebuchets out, and then the other centaurs was to take out the Hellstorm batteries, which spawn on the right there. You can see that Carl is actually quite far away, so he can't initially join the fight, which means that you try and take on Leon as much as we can. But the ally as well is moving forward, trying his best. And you can see my army's just coming in through the back there. Like I said, we're trying to use the allies as a kind of meat shield, which I'm sure they're not too fussed about being the old beastmen and their thirst for war. Right then, so we see an angle here, so I decide to run my centaurs out to try and get to their field batteries, and then I see the angle here. As their swordsmen have moved forward, I run into the back of these Hellstorm batteries here. The unfortunate thing about this was that these shock cav, the Empire Knights here, did see me, so it's not great. Yeah, you can see he's trying to rain down on to the allies there, but yeah, I push in, I get that nicely. The charge into the back actually isn't that bad in the end. On this side, you can see I absolutely obliterated that first trebuchet, and I think I don't realise that Carl has actually landed on them, because you can see I've not clicked anything. I think at the time I was focusing on my main army here. In fact, I think it was because Leon was coming in and I was getting confused about what target he was trying to pick, and it ended up being the Cygor there. So what I do is send my Minotaurs in to the back. You can see the great weapons all coming in, and watch his HP here. It is crazy how much damage these guys do. Even the Giant's trying to join in, but there it is, look at that. It's gone down to half almost, and he starts the route. So it's a brilliant first attack there, and you can see my Centaurs are free just to carve up our friends there. Now, I did leave the Centaurs here, and they just get absolutely peppered by the Pistolier cavalry outriders there, and then even some swordsmen are coming over, so yeah, a bit of misplay there. I should have been a bit more active with them. But down the hill we come with our Centaurs, and it was a bit of a feint, because I think I realised that the archers are over here, but also this field trebuchet is still a bit of a hassle. The other thing was that unfortunately Leon does come back, and he comes back with almost full HP. Yeah, which is not ideal at all. But you can see Franz is right in the middle of it all. I'm trying to push forward now. I've even sent, I think, all my great weapons in there. Yeah, they're all clicked onto Franz to try and get fully into him, because I realised that we're not going to have much fun here when the Pegasus Knights come in. You can see this, and they come, and yeah, I mean, they're pretty horrific units to try and deal with. You can see they're landing straight onto Beastigors, they're landing onto Chaos Spawn. This whole place just turns into an absolute brawl now, with bodies everywhere. We're jumping onto Carl now. He's taking some decent damage. We're trying our best to fight all angles. Leon's at the back there. He's running into the back of these Minotaurs. I'm trying my best to pull back and get him. Yeah, it's just an absolute... It really is the fall of man, this, with them trying to defend their lands from the Beastmen. So yeah, we're trying to shoot him with arrows. I think that was the ally even that's shooting him. I've got Minotaurs over there to deal with him. You can actually see Carl taking pretty serious damage here. And that's because we're just blobbed on him with a bunch of great weapon Minotaurs here. We've even got a Feral Manticore joining the party. So yeah, we got quite lucky, I think, with these archers being able to just pepper the enemies there. And yeah, this guy is really annoying because he's run into the back of these Minotaurs, and now we have to turn around while at the same time trying to deal with some swordsmen. And yeah, like I say, Carl's health is going down pretty heavily, so he is in a pretty bad way. You can see lots of red, damage sustained, feeling tired. You can see flying units everywhere, Pegasus Knights, rocks coming in from side doors. It's an absolute bloodbath. People getting carved to pieces. Yeah, and the Pegasus Knight's trying to fly, and even Carl's now trying to leave because he's taking so much damage. At the same time, Leon's taking it. You can see here that we've done loads of damage, or gold damage value. We've done 1,000 kills between us compared to their pretty poor 300, maybe 400. Yeah, we are pretty happy in this position. Yeah, we do get scared by some of the cav that break off and manage to get to some of our archers. So I send my giant after them, but obviously he's really slow. Again, we're going to charge in here for a go at defeating Carl. I think we do get him here. He's trying to run. Trying to get a swing in. There it is. Oh, huge swing. Down Carl goes. And that makes our beastmen very happy and everyone else not happy on the Empire side. At the same time, Leon with his 700 HP, he's now trying to run. I'm trying to chase him with my Minotaurs. He's coming back in. And again, he is getting surrounded, and he's not very happy about that at all. As we are trying to carve through him, he is not a happy chappy at all either. And yeah, we're just finishing off the Lord that came in on the Pegasus with the Pegasus Knights. Yeah, Leon down to 500 now, and you can see how spread the battle is now. There's units retreating everywhere and breaking and everything else, so yeah, we're looking pretty good. Leon's down to 504 and he's trying to flee while everyone else is breaking, and that is the fall of man. So yeah, like I was saying, it was quite a scary battle on paper, but just targeting those lords, targeting Carl there, targeting Leon at the very start with those great weapon Minotaurs was definitely the right play, along with the Centaurs, who managed to get pretty insane charge on the Hellstorm batteries. I got rid of all three of them before they could do pretty much any damage. Yeah, look, they only did 4, 6, and 1 on their kills. Yeah, and look at that, 251, 20,000 damage on those Centaurs, and they still had half their HP at the end. I think the other ones that were on the trebuchets were unfortunate. I didn't click them in the end, like I pointed out. And yeah, I think by far these were our best units, along with the great weapons here. And then on our CPU Beastman team, they did pretty well, keeping things in check. And yeah, the Bretonnians and the Empire pretty much got crushed. And their Pegasus Knights really did most of the work. So that is the 3 quest battles for the Khazrak One-Eye himself. So I did enjoy them, and like I said, I would say that the second quest battle was the hardest. I did do all 3 of these on very hard as well, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Right then, that is the end of this commentary. I enjoyed looking back over those fights, and so I think I will continue doing these kind of battle report commentary styles over the other Beastman quest battles as I go along. But for now, if you enjoyed this, then please like, comment, and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye for now.